Today we're comparing this older fifth wheel Andersen hitch to the newer style fifth wheel Andersen hitch. Now I bought both of these myself because I couldn't find the information I was looking for, so in order for me to make the correct decision, I needed both of them. So we're going to talk about what these look like in the back of a truck, also get the RV hooked up, discuss some issues with that, and also if jackknifing is your thing, we'll discuss that as well. Now when it comes to these hitches, I still see a lot of people using these, full-time RVers and more, and because of the simplicity, this is one of the reasons I still want to go with this hitch. Okay, let's take a look at the differences between the new one versus the old one, and obviously the size, this one being smaller, and it does weigh a little bit more, which we'll go over that in a minute or two, and then the bigger one, which this is the older style. Now one thing to note, now when it comes to the piping here, this is a little bit smaller, about 1 3/4 versus this is more of a 2-inch, so a little bit beefier when it comes to the overall build. Well, notice this piece here is actually welded to the box. It doesn't extend out with that little extension piece, and this is able to be welded onto a flat surface. That makes it to where this doesn't have quite as strong of a connection point as this here on this flat piece. When it comes to the plate down here, you can see how much longer this weld is here. This is somewhat structural, but not the main part. Overall, the build quality of this is definitely a lot better. When it comes to your footings right here, you can kind of take a look at the size difference. I mean, this is beefy, like 35% bigger versus this. He also got some extra testing and ratings on here for SAE with a J2638 tested, and this is rated for the same 24,000, along with this one being rated for 24,000, which for my RV, I'm only at half of that, so it's really not having to work too hard, and that's what I tell a lot of people is that you really should be looking at doing 80% for most of the things that you do out there, loading your truck to 80%, so it gives you room, running your power equipment at 80%, so it gives you some room for some extra, because you can't always live at 100% all the time. Things are going to break down much quicker, faster. So anyway, when it comes to this older one, if you're looking around for some of these things, you can find a lot of them online, because, you know, a lot of people always sell their hitches, and these are pretty cheap. So if you're looking for one and you want one that is shorter, because that may be a problem later, I'll show you. But the new ones, if you want the warranty and everything, then I suggest buying it online. You could buy it directly from them. You can get it on Amazon, lots of different places, because Amazon sometimes has good deals on these. Now that we've seen the differences of how these are constructed, let's go get them in the back of the truck and then do some measurements just to see the differences. Then we'll get the trailer hooked up and discuss some more. The new hitch will weigh 44.8 pounds, while the old hitch will weigh only 38 pounds. Now this will be the vehicle that will be test fitting in, which is a 2024 GMC 2500. Okay, if we take a look at the hitch while it's in position, from the front of the bed to where the rail stops is right about 30.5 inches. And if we look at the wheel wells, we're looking right about 8 1/4. Now if we take a look at how long the old hitch is, we're looking right about 31.5 inches. And if we take a look at how wide the hitch is, the old one comes in right about 35.5 inches. And if we take a look at how tall, right about 16.5, maybe just a little more. Now with me hooked onto the top of the bed, we were about 4 feet and 2.5 inches away from the ball. So we'll measure the new one and compare the distances. Now the old ball can be adjusted to 3 positions. We're now looking at a new height of 19 inches. Now depending if you happen to have some kind of a tonneau cover of some sort, this means at the tallest point, at least with the old hitch being 19 inches, this means you get about 2 inches of clearance with the ball in its highest position. I don't think most tonneau covers are going to drop down that far, as most of them take maybe an inch at best. So now as we look at the new hitch in place, as we take a look at our length or the depth, we are at a 31.5 inch match with the old style hitch. And if we take a look at the width on the new hitch, just under 30 inches. And if we take a look at the height, it looks like the new height of this one at the lowest point the ball goes is going to be 17 3/4 inches. As we take a look at the front of the bed to where it meets the frame, we're looking at just over 30¼ inches. Now if we take a look at the wheel well over to the frame of the new hitch, we're just about 11 inches, which these little rubber caps, by the time you add both of them, add about 1/4 inch. As we take a look at the front of the bed and now where the new ball position is, as we take a look here at 4 feet, and as we take a look at the ball with it extended all the way up, because you only get 2 positions with the new hitch, that now brings us right to about 19¾ inches tall. This means if you have a bed cover, you may have to put the ball down, depending on the type or brand that you have, as you only have a little more than about 1.5 inches. And so while sitting inside the truck bed, you can also see the visual size difference. The old one is quite a bit bigger, and so this does leave more bed space when you do have the newer style. And I will admit, those handles, they do come in a little bit handy, lifting it in and out of here. To install, follow the instructions on the side. Set torque wrench to 60 to 70 foot-pounds. Loosen 2 side bolts. Tighten the top bolt.
Why won't you talk?
Oh, there it goes. Re-tighten side bolts.
Duh.
Gotta do 2 clicks. And don't forget to back off your torque wrench back to 0. Okay, so here we are with the new hitch installed, and this is some of the problems that I've been finding with, it doesn't matter if it's this hitch, another hitch, all the hitches, it's the new trucks that are kind of the problem. They're all bigger, they all sit up taller, which pushes the nose up, and because they want to make the trucks light and ride good, they also don't have very heavy duty springs, so then the butt sits down, your nose is up, that nose is up, and so then you have to fix it if you want to tow it properly. And yes, riding with your nose high, and also that nose high, is not towing properly. So if you guys want to stick around for the next few videos, I am on a mission to level my trailer, and I'm going to show you how I do that in the next few videos. But this one concentrates more on that hitch, and also can we still jackknife safely and more. So let's do a couple measurements real quick. Now, one thing I do like about this hitch, obviously the smaller footprint is nice, but it's built more stout, and not to mention, it's moved a little bit closer. That gap of how they welded it brought it closer together, so your trailer again moves a little bit farther forward. Now you can move the coupler part and swivel that 180 degrees, which will then give you more clearance back here if you need it. But if you take a look, this is what your common fifth wheel is going to look like. I can still walk through here, no problem. It's a little snug, but I can still get my tailgate down, but still plenty of room to be able to get back there, do what I need to do. Now, as far as our clearance goes right here, so if we take a look at the front, I have 7 inches of clearance, which is quite a bit. You can get away with, 5 to 5.5 is like the minimum. Most people prefer about 6. 7 is definitely plenty. Oh no. And if we go back here to the back, we have 6 inches of clearance, so that's great. So 6 in the back, 7 in the front, so 6, 7, 6, 7. And because this is a new setup, let's write down what our measurements are. That way you can always kind of remember, but it might change a little bit because we are going to change it. So 6 in the back, 7 in the front. Now, maybe everybody doesn't agree with me with a nose up and this nose up towing wrong, but hey, everybody has their own opinion, just like everything else. If the nose is up, your steer axle becomes light, and most of your braking is on your front axle. And if it's too light up there, well, guess what? You lose steering control, you don't get as much braking. It's the same thing with back there. Look at that axle. So notice the front one isn't quite as heavy, so that now means the rear axle is going to carry a percentage of more weight, and that also means your bearings are going to get hotter, your brakes are going to work harder, which means the front ones could skid and lock much easier than the rear. Hence, trying to tow your setup as level as possible is ideal for not only the truck, but also the trailer for the longevity of your running gear, your bearings, your brakes, and more. Now I'm going to be doing a review on a couple nice items that I will be adding to the truck, along with also doing some swapping of components back here. So again, if you guys want to follow along, make sure to subscribe so you can check out all those videos. Because after we level the back out a little bit, that's going to raise this even higher, which is then going to push my tail down a little bit more, which then means I need to lift the trailer even higher. So those are 15-inch wheels, and we will be swapping those out. So we're going to be adding 16-inch wheels and tires, which that's going to give me an additional 1 inch of lift. And then I'm also going to be changing the trailer suspension, where I'm going to add another inch or 2 inches for a total of about 3 inches of lift to help get this more level. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it definitely can't live where it's at. Scary, right? Now, for those who wonder about jackknifing your trailers and certain hitches, this is also why you don't run LT truck tires on your trailer, because they don't have a tough enough sidewall for stuff like this. So what do you think? It's not quite 90, and it's very possible that I could get it there, but I think overall this is actually close enough, because really, why chance it for just a video? But just like the world must be explored, so must trailer hitches. And if this is what you wanted to see on this side, here is what it looks like almost 90 degrees, or at least mostly jackknifed. Look at that. It almost looks like it got in a wreck. Every once in a while I get a car that comes over here and they're like, oh my. Again, see the tire? Yeah. Okay, so now that you've seen both of these, or honestly the new one is really the only one you can purchase new, but would you still run this hitch? Is this something that you would use? Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments. I hope the information in this video helped you out. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in another video.